welcome. And we have a quorum. Kathy Kenny will not be available today. She had a little bit of something that she had to take care of this morning. Let's before we get into the minutes of the meeting, okay. I'd like to open up the floor, okay, to any comments from the public. Okay, if there's something that someone has on their mind today, this is really the time to speak up. Okay, not that we cut you off when we have regular meetings, but if there's something pressing that someone wants to talk about, I would like to open up the floor. So if there's anybody in the public who's coming in by Zoom or here present, okay, this would be the time. Okay, if not, we're going to continue with our meeting. Okay, we have the minutes to our last meeting, and I have looked them over, and I'm going to comment on some of them later on in the meeting. But I didn't see anything wrong here. I think everything was correct. So all I'm asking for is a motion to accept the minutes as they read.
So moved.
Second. Okay. The next order of business, okay, is going to be our financial report. Could you bring up our financial report from that PowerPoint that I have? Thank you, Jessica. Okay, you have the complete spreadsheet there. And let's just review it. Okay, the Chase account, we made a recommendation, and it wasn't in the minutes here. So maybe we did miss something here. Let's take a look here. I saw it. Mr. Branson's suggestion, okay, we made it. Okay.
Right here.
Okay. The transfer took place on May 1st, okay, of 1.5 million from the Chase working account into the New York class account. So that's why it's not showing here, because it was this balance sheet is as of April 30th. So the Chase account, okay, it's still showing 1,787,114. The funds were 158,603. The interest on that account was 3,272. Okay, there were expenses on this of $4,000, and then there was our payroll expense. Okay, the payroll expense, now that we've separated WQIP from the CPF or reporting system, okay, this is basically ours, okay? Leaves a balance of 1,943,939. The New York class account, they had a starting balance of 8,414,267. The interest on that account, it was a whopping $36,071.89, which left a balance in that account of 8,450,339. Okay, this 10,000 that's highlighted in yellow, the 10 million, so 10,394,278. Okay, that is in fact, that is the funds that CPF has that's available for our committee. That's after taking that, because we separated January 1 WQIP. Okay, so that's really our fund. I'm going to go to.
However, to be clear, a significant number is encumbered.
No,
No,
No, this is actually our number
No,
now.
he's
no,
talking about
no,
how it's.
encumbered, we've committed to make purchases.
Yes, correct. That is absolutely
I think it would make sense to maybe add that line of what's encumbered.
The potential,
Not potential, we've signed contracts,
Yeah.
haven't we? So it's, and even if
Right.
it's in process, because again, everybody thinks we have almost $11 million and we don't.
That's a very good
that's a good point.
idea.
Okay. The next page, so let's go to the next screen, please, Jessica. This one here, I don't know whether you have a copy of this or not. Okay, but basically, since we're no longer splitting the checks, okay, what I'm showing here is that's the check that came in. I'm showing how the distribution, the check came for 247,000, and that's for February, okay, because we're behind always
Right.
60 days. So what we're showing, okay, is that, this, I know we got confused with this last time, but I thought this is good. So the CPF check, okay, is 198,254. Out of that amount is 20%, which goes to the WQIP. So this month, WQIP received $39,650,000. 49,563 went into the community housing fund. So what was left over after all those funds were taken out was 158,603. Do you follow that? Okay.
I do,
Okay, the CPF fund now is 2.5%.
right,
Okay, that 2.5% is reflected in that top number of 247,818.
yeah.
0.5% is the 49,000.
Yeah.
And then what was left over, the CPF was 198. I'll take the 2%, the 20% out of it was 39,000. So it left CPF monies that really go to CPF is 158,603. It's a little convoluted, but I just thought it would be.
It makes sense. It's confusing because you got the top line of what we received and you have another bottom line that repeats the top line.
It's really been done that way because they're just balancing it, they're just proofing it. But
No, I know, it's just,
So really and we also show the 100 on our report, you'll see we show 158,603.62, okay? So, you know, that's a double check there, but I just thought it's important to see where we're getting a check to community preservation, it's being broken up, and it's just a check for our eyes, I guess, that's what I'm saying to
I'm
you.
just suggesting getting rid of the bottom line and taking the CPF after and having that be the bottom line. So it's just clear what
All right,
I'm saying.
we'll clean it up that way, okay? But, okay, and let me go to the next page. Oop, no. This one here. I just thought that this is, you know, we always show this, but it's interesting, you know, where our funding is. You can see from last year. So, you know, we're going to be, you know, we're probably going to be, I'm suspecting that this year we're going to be, our funding is going to be about $2 million, okay? So, you know, it doesn't take much at this time for property being at the cost it's at, okay, to spend it. So although we have a bankroll of roughly 8,500,000 after the acquisitions that we have that are taking place right now, you know, it takes a lot of money. We stockpiled some money, so I think we really have to start taking a looking at the properties we acquire in a much more serious way because the Fat City is gone, okay? Meaning that 5 million that came in 2021, we're not likely to see that for a while. Okay,
I would say that we always take our acquisitions seriously.
well, yes. Okay, so on that basis, okay, I would like to get a motion to accept the financial report as it is. I will make those adjustments next month, Kim, okay?
Second.
Second, nine, okay. Um, Anything, Kim, we're in June, we're going to be talking about West Neck Reserve. Any,
Actually, I'll just say a couple of quick things. One is the winter wheat, which I hand sewn, the broadcast, which I had fears it was not going to take, is, I'm happy to say it is 1 foot tall and very thick. So it's a great success. But I think around mid-June, we're going to plow again, deep plow. And then till. I'm still waiting to hear back from the school. I emailed them again a week or two ago about when they're gonna come and do something to do the insect monitoring. And the only other thing is I'd like to cut a lot of the other parts of the preserve. But I need to be aware of the turtles and also nesting birds. So I want to have a field trip with Rusty to see how we manage the other parts of the preserve going forward.
but again, we're not dealing with the area that's wooded in its natural state. On the side that's north of the path, that's not what we're dealing with.
And across the road, the paper road,
Paper road,
no, we're not touching that.
not touching it. It's only the areas that really have been,
Areas where the goldenrod was blooming and there's sort of thorny stuff growing up. And I just need advice about how to start dealing with the other parts of the preserve.
okay. So we'll do, and then after we turn the land, okay, we're going to plant again, we're gonna seed again.
I believe so, although, we got a hot, dry spell. I'm not sure how the correct, but that's something I need to discuss with Rusty.
Okay. All right. I'm just talking about signage. We have the maps here we have the maps, we still have maps left over from last year. Interesting that we did receive a note from someone that the maps were missing in some of our preserves. So look, when everybody leaves today, can somebody take some of the maps that they have responsibility for and put them in the preserves?
Where are they?
They're in the town clerk's office. Okay. And with respect to the signage, okay, I am making an arrangement to with the brand, okay, to walk on the white property and walk on some of the properties to get some of the rest of the signage is made, which we don't have in place. Okay, so that pretty much is where we are in that. The sixth item that I wanted to talk.
One quick, the QR codes, have they been fixed yet?
The QR codes, okay, just give me a second. QR codes are, we don't have to change the QR code that's existing there. I think they worked out an arrangement that now that the town is going, it was a question of who's hosting all that information. And so I've asked that the town host it like they have in the past. We have to have Louise to change something. So there's not a whole lot of stuff we have to do there. Okay, but we should get that, you're right, that should all be in place before.
I know, yeah, because I talked about QR codes last week.
Right.
About something else, and they're working out, updating who actually oversees the QR code system.
Right. Well, I've asked the town to host that We don't have to change that little sticker.
No, we don't have to change anything. It's a matter of who actually, because some of them aren't functioning right now.
Right. Okay.
Well, one thing, I walked Capitol yesterday, and there's the trail that they created with, that Ken Lewis did.
Yep.
It's grass is about
I know.
over a foot high, and there's trees. So I just get a hold of Ken about
Yep.
that.
Yep. And we want that area, because we did survey the property, so we want that field to grow in.
Yeah.
Let the grass grow.
Well, the grass looks like it's some.
I know. No, I know. And I have been negligent in speaking to that person, okay? So but I think we want that to grow in.
Yeah.
Has everybody been to Chapel Hill? Joe, have you been there?
Not lately, but
Have you seen where the surveys are? Stakes are?
not the recent ones, no. How long were they put in there?
They were put in there about 3 months ago.
That's good. I don't believe I've seen
You
them.
should go and take a look at
I
it.
saw the pictures, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there's a good part of that space, so, but we should let it just grow in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, otherwise, and just, actually, when he comes out with a mower, he'll go through a path that connects the loop. That's
Right.
really basically how it should be.
And the trail going out to that, the grass is, real high, so nobody's gonna walk in here with worry about ticks.
We got a lot of ticks right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, maybe we can start opening up the old road that went through there along the border, the other side. So we can make like a little more of a bigger loop.
Yeah, we could look at the survey sticks with how far we can go
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
Actually, what we should do is we should really sit down with Ken Lewis or maybe it's not even Ken Lewis. We should really look at what we're looking to do this coming year, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we may choose some alternative ways of handling some of the preserves, okay?
Yeah, because you could actually make a nice big, big loop by
Right.
using the rest of that property. We just don't know what it is.
Okay. The volunteer stewardship plan. I know nobody's raising their hand to get involved with it, so how about we try this? Okay, everyone has assignment of what properties they're responsible for. Maybe I'll get that going next month. Okay, so just to review we're dealing with what piece of property, okay? But the volunteer stewardship plan, if we create this thing, I spoke to Jessica this morning, okay, and basically she could monitor and handle some of that for us, meaning we would individually be responsible who's assigned to it, making sure that they're trained the way the stewardship plan reads. But in terms of the individual, if they have problems going, they could report it directly to, rather than going to you individually, anything that they have going on that they want to bring to the attention of CPF, they would take it to Jessica.
Okay.
Does that sound like a reasonable way of doing it? Rather than some one person handling all of it, we all break it down into individual pieces, because there's a lot of people who really want to participate,
Probably mostly the neighbors of a property.
mostly the neighbors.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, which is good and bad, right?
Play more good.
Okay. Okay, so anyhow, but I think we should sort of think, Tim, you're okay, you're looking at me strange, right? Is that okay?
I'm just,
It's not.
no, I think it's fine. I mean, I've been talking to someone in Silver Beach about helping out, setting up something at West Neck with some of the Silver Beach residents. How we meet here. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
We're thinking about, we haven't actually done it, but we're talking about it.
Actually, I've had a number of people contact me from Silver Beach saying positive things. You know, I wasn't sure. I thought you guys were off base. And now they see what you're doing with those mugworts, and it seems to be working. There seems to be a change of attitude.
But they love the winter wheat.
Okay.
I have to explain to people, this is not it. This is just a step towards it. But they're, yes, they're happy.
Towards a better it.
Yes, towards a better it.
So we'll move forward with that. Everybody has a copy of what the procedures are. I sent it out to everybody, the volunteer stewardship. It was interesting. Just as a note, I went to the Cutchogue Library last week, and they had a forum on water quality. Okay, and I found it really interesting. You know, we compare, we sometimes use other townships as a measurement stick of what we should be doing. And this was something that was sponsored by the baykeepers and a lot of environmental people, okay? But what was interesting to me is that Southold, okay, Southold, it was said to me from one of the administrators from Southold that, and I sort of rang a bell in my ear because we always hear about our, you know, the land, but the Southold feels that they have more impact by buying farms and agricultural land to improve water quality than even with the IA systems. I mean, and if you think about it, you know, they're saving farms that could otherwise be developed into development, and there's a lot of logic to that piece. We don't have farms per se here, okay, or any large aggregate, but it still goes back to the thing that preservation, when we buy land, it does have an impact on the water quality. It's not like it's just open space and not really doing anything. And particularly the pieces that are along the waterfront have probably more significance because, you know, like our most recent acquisition we're in right now with the Tuttle Farm over on South Midway, those 4 acres are right directly on the waterfront. So, you know, and I think sometimes when we're looking at acquisitions, we look at inland, but the bays are really another important ingredient in terms of water quality. But it's a big ingredient. So when you can save land, protect the marshes, you know, the shoreline, and take care of the fishing and the shellfish industry, as well as avoiding septics going into the bays, that's a big win, okay? And anyhow, I just thought to me, it was an interesting, it was a very interesting meeting, okay? And anyhow, I get off the subject again. The stewardship plans we're still working on, okay? And pretty much, folks, this is a pretty short agenda. I will be traveling with Suffolk County in the month of June, okay? Be glad if anybody, Suffolk County Parks will be coming out. They want to visit all of our properties as such, okay? So if anybody wants to come and visit, you're welcome. The date is, I think, June.
I forget his name.
Nick Gibbons.
Yes, I'd be happy to do it.
Okay.
What's the date?
It is June, hold on, yeah, I think it's,
Where are you guys going?
sorry?
Where'd you say you're going?
But look at properties.
It's just, you know, once a year, they want to see how we're doing with our properties and so forth.
The ones that they coat.
Yeah,
Yes.
the color one's up.
It is on the 13th month,
June 13th.
June 13th.
Day.
It is a Thursday.
I can do that.
Okay.
June 13th. Oh, what time?
It's going to be at 10 o'clock. I still haven't arranged where we're going to meet, but I figured we could travel and we'll all learn something. We can't have a quorum, so it can be, I guess a quorum.
Unless you declare a meeting. Can announce a meeting. Anybody from the public is welcome to tag along also,
Yeah. Okay.
theoretically, right?
Theoretically.
I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
could do that.
So you'll send out a little
I'm gonna
notice
send
to
a
all of
note.
us?
Yep.
That would be great.
So probably a good idea to, check out their property and see if there's any improvements we need to do when they show up.
There were some big messes over at Mungo City, but I had notified the police about all the trash, and I guess they went and stopped whoever was leaving all the trash, probably high school kids or something. And now they cleaned it up anyway, so it looks a hell of a lot better than it did.
People trash,
Yeah, beer cans and all stuff like that.
that's from the hunting season.
No, it's like kids partying.
Party season.
It's party season. Exactly.
Okay. And I will send a note out on that. Okay, for the Gibbons, okay. Okay. I have nothing else, guys. Okay, anybody else have anything that you really want to bring up? If not, okay, I'd like to get a motion to go into an executive session, okay, to discuss properties that we're currently either in contract with or potential acquisitions. Okay.
Benjamin, did you have something?
No, actually, sorry, that was a mistake.
I'm gonna,
Is anybody on the,
does anybody on Zoom have any questions? I see we have some new people here today, so I'll open up the floor to anyone who has any questions or wants to ask anything of community preservation.
Yes, actually, I do, Elise Horning. I'm not on the island 100% of the time. We're only on about a week every month. But Artist Lane is behind my property. And I was just wondering about the volunteer conservancy program, whether it would be only open to full-time residents.
No, it's not open to full-time residents. If as long as you're a resident, we'd be glad. I don't know where you're located.
Montclair.
On Montclair, okay?
Yeah.
I know that you're in Montclair. Okay, so I know
Yeah.
that Howard Johansson has shown some interest to overseeing it also, but if you
Yes.
know Howard?
Yes, I do. I'm
Okay.
on Simpson. I'm right around the block from Howie. So yeah, I mean, we're there. We've walked through many times. And the last time was a couple of weeks ago, and it looked nice and clear. And but again, it needs signage because you're kind of going off the beaten path and not realizing where the easements are and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it just needs to be looked after on a regular basis.
Yeah,
Probably.
that would be great. With the signage, okay, we're working on right
Yep.
now. I would like to see if we can get it in place before June, okay? Because you're right, you can see the walking paths, and
Yeah.
we need to create something, but that would be great. So would you mind if I took your phone number, or maybe afterwards you could give me a call?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna be on the island on June 1st. Like I said, we try to come up for at least a week, a month. It's a little difficult because we're in Virginia. But yes, absolutely. My number is.
No, don't give it to me. Don't give it on the public, otherwise people will be calling. you,
Everybody will
okay?
have my number. I feel like everybody's got my number anyway, but
Okay.
yes, I can email that to the, you have a clerk or an
Okay.
email address.
Yes,
Yeah.
why don't we, Jessica, you can, Jessica's email is on the town website under community preservation, so you can send it directly to them, okay?
I will do
That's-
that. Thanks.
That's great. Thanks so much, okay? Again, the stewardship plan, just to refresh it, we're just looking for eyes and ears
Yeah.
on the property.
Yep.
It's not one where we're asking you to police it,
Yep.
and you don't have any of those things, but it's just good to see some of the things that you might see
Yeah.
that we're not seeing on a regular basis.
Right, and I understand where the negativity could go to the point where there, you would think that someone's overseeing it a little too aggressively. I understand that. We're not looking for that. We just want to make sure that it stays safe and clear and accessible to people, going forward, so.
Have you, just out of curiosity, have you visited all 5 of those pieces off of Simpson?
Yeah,
And-
yeah, I'm on Simpson. I don't back up to the actual preserve because one of the White family has their home sort of behind mine. And the Mrs. O'Keefe's old home. But anyway, yeah, we've been very familiar with it. I've been on the island since that was the Dickerson farm. So, and when the barn was there. So I'm pretty familiar with all the different parts of it.
Great, okay. I appreciate you turning into the meeting today, okay? And
Sure.
hopefully I'll get a chance to meet with you, okay? But thank you. You've been, you saw the parking area that we established there?
No, actually I haven't. And that's what I was wondering, is it going to be on Monantic or Simpson?
It's going to be off of Artist Lane, off of Monantic, okay? When you come out in June, would you,
Yep.
would you do me a favor? Just
Yep.
give me a call, and I
Yep.
would like to walk the property with you and Howard.
That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, we'll be on there until the 7th. I'd like to be there longer, but I'm not retired yet, so it makes it a little difficult. But I'll be there soon, and so I wanted to kind of prep for helping out with a lot of different things, so.
Okay, well,
yes.
the town needs a lot of help. Maybe there's some
I know.
other committees that you can join.
Yes, I'm thinking of that, and I'm trying to oversee some of the information so I can see what I can do to help. So yes, absolutely.
Thanks so much, appreciate it, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Thank
All right, thank you.
So let's get that motion. Julie Lane, anything that you would like to ask Preservation?
Nothing right now, but it's true that you guys can do that tour with Suffolk County and simply have it open, and I will probably join you. It's a little early to figure my June schedule, but there's no problem with worrying about a quorum.
Okay. That may be a good idea, okay? All right, I promise you, Julie, I'll be back to you on this, okay? And
Great.
so let's, anyone else in the public that wants to comment or wants to talk about anything? Okay, on that basis, let's get that motion going to close. Motion. Second. Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Thank you, folks, okay?